بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Okay, so the first thing we'll talk about the career development, we can say, or career planning, or whatever you say. A quick overview of my details. I have been training on Cisco different technologies for more than 15 years. You can see my profile. You can go through with these specific profiles. I have around 2 lakh students around the world. I have around more than 50 courses on Udemy, and also the Enver Solutions, which is basically an IT training, Cisco training company, network and security training companies. Apart from that, you can see I have a specific channel, YouTube channel, where I have more than 113K subscribers and more than 1200 plus videos. These are all just small things. Okay. More, you can preview these links. These are the specific links from where you can get into my profile. Now, why I need to show all these things? Because the first thing, you should be aware of the person who is actually the speaker. Okay, what he has achieved or what he has done. That actually motivates, and that's the main reason I generally show this link, but I don't really prefer this. Okay. So let's jump into the first step. What is career? What is career? What is the meaning of career? Normally we say, now career means different things, different jobs, roles, different activities you will plan in your phase of life, right? Okay. So that is what specifically we call it as a career. So there are multiple things involved in this, like career development. What is meant by career development? This includes continuous learning and growth. And what is career? Career is basically a lifelong journey, what you are going to build based on the skills what you acquire and based on the experiences what you gain during the phase and different achievements, whatever the achievements you are going to achieve in your personal or the professional lives. This is a kind of a journey. We can also say it's a kind of a journey which you're going to start, where you're going to acquire the skills, gain the experience, and do achieve many things. Or we can also say like what you do for earning, to earn a living. So if you are to survive in this world, you have to make money, right? So obviously you have to earn something to survive. And what exactly you do, and again, we plan in a proper way. Why we do that? Again, to maintain some financial stability. So the end goal is to make sure that we have some great financial stability in order to earn a living, which means you need to make sure that you provide enough financial resources or any resources to you and your family. Additionally, what we can say, they're all different terms or different things what I'm trying to say. And career planning is nothing but whatever the long-term goals you want to achieve, like what you want to become in the next 5 years or in the next 2 years, what you need to learn, what you need to gain, those kind of things. And of course, you also do some networking. Networking means not a networking course. Networking means connecting different people and meeting the people and building some professional relationship, all those things, like meeting the mentors, all these things includes in that. Okay. So in simple words, we can say, what are the things you are going to do in order to make sure that you have a good financial stability and making some good earning while you live. Okay. It can be a job, it can be a business, or it can be anything. So okay. So we need to have this proper planning has to be done. That is kind of a first step. And this basically starts immediately after 10th or 12th, because many people think it starts after 10th or 12th. Let's complete the graduation. Let's think about it later. But actually, the initial process, it starts immediately after 10th or 12th, because what you choose, that will decide what you become. Okay, so you have to make sure that you select right things at this initial phase only. Because let's say, if I want to achieve, let's say if I want to become an engineer, let's say a computer science engineer, I generally use this term. It doesn't mean that I'm only talking about this domain. So if you want to become, so let's say if you are selected after 10, probably the science, maybe that, what we call that, by PC or whatever. And then probably that's going to change the complete different stream, right? So there are different fields. If you refer the PDF, I have shared one PDF. I hope you have seen that PDF, and I expect you to go through with that PDF to understand the complete process. Okay. So there are plenty of options. There's no just one single option. There's a plenty of options. Once you finish either 10th or 12th, basically 10th or 12th, it depends on the schools. If you're going with any some CBSE or other schools or international, if you're studying outside India, then probably it will be up to 12th, right? So you got different options. And from there, you can see there are different options here. You can get into commerce after 12th, or arts, and then science. Again, in the science, again, you have these all the different sciences. Like if you choose physics, I'm not here to explain all these options. I expect you to know all these things, and I expect you to figure out all these options. Okay, so I'm not here to explain each and every track or to you. I'm just trying to create a mind map or a road map for that. Okay, so the first thing I suggest you to do is you need to go through with this PDF. Again, I'll be uploading the same links on the Google Drive. You can refer to this PDF, which will have a complete details of the different options what you have. And if you already chosen one option, then obviously there are some multiple tracks again. So here our focus will be understanding other things, other aspects like I can say like we are trying to be ready mentally. Mentally ready is very important. Mentally seriousness is very important. So before we get into discussing strong things, let's try to understand what is the trend, today's generation students, or what is the general trend, not just now, even 20 years before, even we are into the same situations where this is common with everyone. Let's try to understand these things. Now, one of the main thing here is the problem with the current students or the previous students, or maybe the future students also, who are not serious. First, let's try to understand the problems, because first we have to remove the problems and then we can come up with a proper solution. So the first problem you can see, there is no plan for the future. Means we don't have a proper, so students do not have a proper plan for the future, or even there is a lack of direction or the goals. So there is no goal at all. So if someone asks you like I have given one question in the Google form where what you want to be in the next 5 years or 10 years, there's no clarity. Even many people have written that I want to become a doctor, I want to become so and so engineer, I want to become so and so teacher. There are more than 50 plus answers. But do you have a clear clarity of this roadmap? Okay, you are saying that in the next 5 years you want to become an engineer, or you want to become a programmer, or you want to become a data analyst, or you want to become anything. So there are plenty of professions. Whatever comes in my mind, I'll just take them, but don't take that only as a serious. Okay, almost all the professions are serious professions, serious skills. But whatever I know, whatever I'm across, I generally take those things. But now the question is, okay, for the next 5 years, this is what I want to achieve. Let's say if you're studying at 12th now, after 12th, maybe 17 plus years, maybe 22 years. So, okay, I want to be in a good position, in a good job, good money, making a good money. But now the question is, what is the roadmap? Do you have a proper roadmap for that? Do you have a goal? Goal is okay. You want to become a good professional, a good teacher, good engineer. But what is the roadmap? Do you have a proper roadmap in your mind? And do you have a proper goal? Because it's very important that when you want to achieve a big term goal, let's say my goal was like, if I want to become a CCIE certified, that's something what I want to do. So that was a span of 5 years since I thought. But again, to achieve this goal, what is your course of action? What you're going to do in the next 1 year, and what you need to achieve in the next 1 month, and what you need to achieve this 1 week, and to reach that goal, what you have to achieve today. So Today, what you have to do. So the most important thing is, in order to achieve the long-term goal, we need to prepare a short-term goals. Short goals are also important. The long-term goal is simple. We want to become so and so person, so and so personality, so and so. Your uncle, your friends, someone is achieved something big, and you want to achieve the same thing. But what is the course of action? The problem is it's not with the goal. The problem is with the course of action or the roadmap. So make sure that you have that clear roadmap. That's the thing. And the other problem is, I'll just list out the problems. So don't get me wrong. I'm just listing out the problems because we need to understand the things where we are going wrong. I have the plan. Don't worry. Okay. In the next slide, follow the crowd. Now, follow the crowd. This is more common. We simply follow the crowd. What does it mean? Many people simply choose the career path, whatever the path you are selecting. Let's say I completed my 10th or 12th. If you already chosen, don't worry. I'm not saying that you have chosen something wrong. You can still achieve many things in that. Even though if you are done with the graduation, you can achieve many things. Okay, I'll come to those points. So the problem is most of the time we achieve the things what our peers. Peers means your friends. Okay, my friend is doing MBA, I'll do MBA. So what you do after the graduation means, so my friend is doing MDA, I'm doing MDA, or he's doing MCA, I'll do MCA, or he's doing MTech, we'll do MTech. He's doing job, searching for a job, I just simply search for the job. The problem is we don't have our own perspective of thinking or finding out what is our interest, where my interest is, and what is my strength. The problem is again interest. Everyone have an interest. Everyone want to become, famous, like creating a YouTube channel, which is common trending now. Build one YouTube channel and get subscribers, get money like that. So whatever you want to become, the problem is we don't figure out our strengths, and we just simply follow the things, especially in India or in our places. You may want to pursue something like they just simply pursue the engineering or medicine or simply whatever comes in the way, whatever the piece they do. Okay. Again, these things will vary based on individuals. I'm not pointing to anyone, but these are general points I'm trying to issue. If anything is common in your play in your points, you can just see how to rectify them. And most of the time, we also influenced by others. We generally choose the things which are influenced by others. Like decision making is most commonly done by family members, family heads, if they are well educated, in case, or friends, or sometimes the society expectations are. We can say one of your uncle is so and so in US. He has done so and so computer science, and is doing good. So we just simply follow that. Okay, or someone is doing, because you have to figure out what is your strength and weakness, because maybe one stream is not suitable for everyone. Okay, so if I'm good with any one subject or one domain, you have to identify that. Okay, and most of the time you have to accept the parents work date. This is also common with the parents who are influenced. Now most of the parents, it's not just the students. Actually, many parents are influenced by others. Like we used to have when we are studying, we used to have one of my parents' colleague. His son is studying in Bangalore and doing so and so diploma, and that's it. Now the next year when I'm done with my 10th, I has also has to do diploma. That's it. So they don't have a clear idea in diploma what are the different streams, which stream you need to select, and which stream will take you where. So there's no clarity at all. So these things happen. Your colleagues, or your parents' colleagues, your parents' friends, everyone give different ideas. They just simply follow that. Other things like get tempted by the current trends. Now, most of the people will be tempted by the current trends. One of the common trend in our IT, many people they say, okay, I want to do cyber security. It is trending. I want to do cloud. I want to do I want to become a professional hacker and those kind of things. This is kind of thing. Sometimes, you see someone want to make a YouTuber. He wants to become a YouTuber and create a YouTube channel. So general examples. These are just terms what comes in my mind at that point of time. I'm not specific because we see, I do counseling. There are many people, graduates come to me. I want to become a cyber security hacker, or I want to become this. Now, the first question, I want to become a programmer. Of course, programmers won't come to us because we are not into programming. But the first thing is when you are choosing this specific field, whether you are, okay, this is completely based on the interest. I got your point. Okay, you have an interest because you generally people watch others and they say, but the question is, what is the skills required for that? So in order to become a programmer, you should have an in-depth coding, in-depth programming skills. In-depth means you should be in a position to develop a code. You should be at least after graduation or during the graduation. Okay, we know a little bit C, C++, Java. We do one more course from Amirpet here from institution, and we expect to become a programmer. And after 8 months, they realize that this is not our cup of tea. It's not my job. Means I cannot become a programmer because there is a huge skills required. And again, the problem is they will not tell there is a huge skills required. They will only tell that there is no scope or there is no market, there is no job. This is the common answer which you'll find from everyone. No market, no scope, no job, uska scope nahi hai. All these terms. Okay? But the problem is you don't have that level of skills to get into a job. That is the actual problem. Okay. And you need to know these things. So if you want to become a professional hacker or anything into networking, obviously you should be very good in coding again. You should be very good in programming. You should be very good in operating system. You should be very good in networking skills, understanding the network security. There are plenty of things. People come and say they want to do 3 months course and they want to become an expert, where you cannot do achieve in 5 years in the college. How you're expecting to achieve in 3 months or 6 months? Okay, so this is kind of a common trend. These things. I'll just come to the questions a little bit. Give me some time. Let me finish this. Now, one more thing, jump into any career. This is also common for many individuals. Without any proper guidance or without any assessment, we don't access ourselves. We simply jump into any career, like choosing any career without any additional information. Like I said, jumping into some random diploma course or random course, or it can be anything. Like let's say, some simple example, let me take someone wants to achieve something in the digital marketing. They just go and do the digital marketing course. That's it. They don't know exactly what is digital marketing. Okay, it's an online marketing which we can do, but at the back end, you need to study a lot. It's not just one course. You need to know many things in that. There is a web designing you need to know. There is some poster designing you need to know. Some kind of graphic designing. There are many competitive skills required for one specific skill set. It's not like just one. Okay, because many institutions will sell a bunch of course for 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, and we expect by completing that we will get into a job. But that's not the way. Again, those points I'm coming later on. And one more thing, a few more, little bit of laziness as well. Like these things, uh, like lack of motivation. Now, lack of motivation is basically, what is lack of motivation is we don't have anything to motivate, right? Because motivation, we just get up in the morning wherever we want, and then we just go to sleep in the evening, and we just move around, hop around. That's it. There is no a specific goal to achieve per day. Like let's take a simple example. Now, almost just like 1 month, you have been into holidays, right? What are the skill set you have achieved in this 1 month? So in 1 month, you have no colleges or no schools or no institutions running for since 1 month. So you have 24 hours per day, let's say 30 days, and take out 14 hours in that for other things. You still have 10 hours. 10 into 30, 300 hours. So how many of you spend 300 hours of learning skills or adding any other skill set or doing any other thing? Roughly 1 hour, maximum 1 hour to 2 hours is the maximum time you normally spend for learning, even in the holidays. This is the fact. We don't spend much time on the learning as well. Okay. Other things like fail to discover the lives. Of course, these are all professional terms. Fail to discover is nothing but identifying your own passion, talent, or potentials. We don't determine that. Okay. And of course, live in the fantasy world. Finally, live in the fantasy world is basically we are living in an unrealistic world, which means we call it as like living in a dreams where we might think that we complete our graduation in the next 5 years or 3 years, and there will be a company waiting for you to get into a job, or there will be a company ready to offer you a huge package and you get into a job, which is really not possible. And many people expect the colleges will get your campus placement. That is also not possible for any college to give 100% placements. Roughly, they will give 5 to 10%, that to top colleges, unless you're working for unless you're studying in IIT or top end colleges of the country, where there is a more than 50% placement. Even in IIT also, there is no 100% placements. You can check the news articles and all. No college will give you 100% placement. Even the IIT means, they are the toppers who get into it. Even they'll find difficult to get into placements from the campus. Of course, they go back and get their own jobs on their own. That is a different case. Okay. So these are some of the issues with the current generation students like. And the next thing is I'll be talking about the roadmap. Roadmap again. Now, again, the next thing we need to understand the career progression roadmap. Now, this is important. We should have a clear picture of what you want to become. The roadmap should be clearly present. This is like a common roadmap for anyone who wants to achieve something big in the life. Okay. So that's the first thing. So the roadmap is simple. At the age of 20, 18 to 20 years, you will be almost graduated or get into a diploma or whatever. That is the normal age what you come with. And after that, there will be the next span of 5 years, 20 to 25 years, and then 30 to, or we can say 25 plus, and then there is a 30 plus, and then there's a 35 plus. So this is a rough span. If you leave around, that might extend, but generally the career phase or the learning phase or doing something big, this is the only phase. Once you cross 40, it will be very difficult for you to achieve big things or take any risk, right? So to start with, so majority, assume majority of the people is falling in any one of these two, mostly the first or the second categories. Now, the first thing is when at the age of 18 to 20, right? That is the age where you will be graduated. And that is where the exact problem starts. The problem is here only. Now, at this age, normally you expect to become employable. Means at the age of 20, everyone expects you to become an employable. You get a good job or any specific job to start working. That is one thing where you need to focus on it, right? So maybe you need to gain some certifications, learn some skills, whatever it is. So this is a stage. And after this, you expect to get some experience. As you keep on working, you will be gaining some professional experience, like 1 year, 2 years, or whatever, different experience. And this is the phase where you will be exploring different paths. So exploring different career paths, like what you want to do, whatever the different options you have, you can try around this age, 20 to 18 to 20, 25, I can say like 20 to 25, that is a span of time. It may vary based on individuals. And this is the age, this is the time where you have to build the skills, right? This is the time where you have to build the skills and gain some skills as well, right? Let's coming to this roundup point. The first thing is this is the point where you need to become an employable. Now, getting an employability, what requires? Now, many people think getting an employability requires a graduation. That's okay. I agree. To some extent, it is good. You need a graduation. But simply getting a graduation with a 60 plus percentage, or nowadays, I don't know what is the percentage system they are using now. Anything around 60 to 70, 80%, or even, there are many toppers, 80%. Getting a graduation, will it be sufficient to get a job or not? So normally you can answer in chat. So is it sufficient to get into a job? So that's really not sufficient for my case, because simply getting graduated is not sufficient, because at every year there are plenty lakhs of people get graduated. Only 1% of the people get into a job. 1 to 10%, hardly 1 to 10% people get into a job even after getting graduation. Okay, even now, what you will do again? Many people I have seen after complete graduate, they go to post graduation again, and they do something else. Now the problem if of not getting employed. If you're not getting employed means the simple problem is you don't have the skills. The simple problem is you don't have the skills. So now why? Because the problem is with the education itself. Okay. So whatever you learn in the college or in the academics, I simply say academics, whatever you learn in your academics, that is not a skill set. It is not skill oriented. I think I have a separate slide. I'll come back. Let's talk about the current education system, because this is very important to know. Whatever the location, especially in our country or majority of the countries, now majority of the current education system is totally dependent on the rote learning. Rote learning means, just by heart the things and simply go to the exam and write down the exam and pass. Simple. That is what many people are used to it. That is what many people still do it. That is what many people achieve a good grade. They are very expert in this rote learning, right? You simply by heart 10 lines and write down that. That's very without actually understanding it. Okay, that's and also there's no much creativity in our academics, right? And also there's no much practicals. A simple example, practical applications. Let's take a simple example of any graduate. Okay, I talk about more on the computer side because I'm into that stream. Okay, that's the reason, but it doesn't mean other streams. We do have a medical expertise as well. We will have a sessions probably in the next coming week relating to the other domains, especially the sciences and the medical streams as well. So we have a expertise on that as well. We'll do that. Now let's come back to this practical application. Now someone completed a diploma or someone completed a graduation from computers, maybe a BTech or BSc or whatever. Even take myself, I just did my diploma. And once you are done with a diploma of 3 years, I'm also used to this rote learning. There's no practical experience, means you submit a project where you have to develop one software code to pass the exam, but you simply submit a project which is copied from some institutions or some places, right? Because we have a lot of pressure in the exams as well. We have to pass. We have to pass. And there's no time for doing any kind of creativity and all those things. And you don't have enough resources for that. And even there's no practical application. Means practically what you learn, they don't really apply on the real time. Many things don't apply. Like if you take an example, again, if you say that you learn a subject, let's say a subject, anything it can be, you're learning a subject, let's say a database. There's a separate textbook with 400 plus pages, but there is no practical knowledge you actually learn. You don't implement any kind of database. You just know SQL. You just know that, SQL, Oracle, these are the softwares which we use and we build that, but there's no practical application. And of course, there is a revival for these things. We are not here to revise our education system. And I'm not saying don't do the graduation, because that is the first step for anything, graduation, diploma, anything. Still, companies prefer the graduation, especially in India. But this will be gone in the future. In the future, now in currently in US, if you go to US or any European countries, so graduation is just a paper, just a piece of paper. What you get, the actual thing, what they work on, or they work on the skills. Even if you take many successful people who started, different companies. It can be a Facebook or it can be any other, Apple. They are all different things. Even the Microsoft, These are all people. You can take the company. I don't want to take any examples here, but you can just think. The problem is the skill set. We don't work on the skill set. This is my main point. The main focus is on skill set, because if you want to become an employable, you need to be a skillful. And in order to become a skillful, you need to explore the different skills. And many people do this after the graduation. The problem is, again, where we think about doing everything after the graduation. Like, we'll complete our 3 or 4 years of graduation. It can be, a degree or whatever the BTech, whatever the stream you select. Now, many people don't do along with the graduation, they do after the graduation. So after the graduation, they realize, because they have a backlog papers, right? They have to clear that as well, because many papers will be pending, or they don't have a clarity. And you learn many things. Like, if you take a computer science student, you learn many things. You learn programming. You learn in programming, again, you learn 3, 4 programming languages: C, C++, Java, and then Python, and then .NET, and then SQL. There are many things. And then database, you learn Oracle, and you have database, SQL, and you learn Oracle, all these things. And also you learn networking. You don't learn network. In that networking, again, there are plenty of variations, subjects you learn. And you learn, there are plenty of subjects. If you just figure out in 3 years, 4 years, you learn more than 10 to 15 subjects, where you don't expertise in any one subject. Even if you get expert in one subject, that is enough to get into a job. The problem is, we are not in a position to decide what you want to do. Like, let's say I want to become a programmer, which means you have to make sure that you are expert in one domain, either Java, either C, C++, whatever. You have to be an expert in this. And that skill set will be enough to get into a basic level job, maybe an entry level job, where you can work as a junior programmer, or where you can get into any company, or where you can submit a project or do some project for 3 months, or where you can get into internship. There will be options always open, but the problem is, we are not expert. Just like, jack of all, master of none, something like that. You know many things, but you're not expert in any one skill. So this is something what you need to understand. So the skill set is something we need to acquire. And by the time you acquire the skill set, like, let's say many people, they do acquire the skill set. They do the courses after the graduation. By the time they finish the courses, it will be 1 year. Because generally it will take 3 to 6 months. And because we do only 2 hours, right? We do 2 hours class and 1 hour practice. That's it, 3 hours. Because the remaining time we are very much busy, right? The people are very much busy. They just think, we are doing something, but actually doing nothing. And they will drag for 1 year. And after 1 year, when you apply for the job, again, you have to show this 1 year experience. Now, for that, again, they move around some fake institutions, uh, getting some fake kind of experiences. Again, very difficult to prove that experience. Again, that is where, again, they fail. So, because, see, the simple thing, if you don't have a proper planning, these are all the general problems you'll face. If you are still in the graduation, you should not do this mistake. If you are already completed the graduation, you might have seen these mistakes by yourself or someone else. Because if you're already achieved something, you are not be sitting in this session, right? So this is the problem. So what you have to do, parallelly, you have to plan the skills. You have to identify the domain or the skill set. If you take any other domain, let's say if you're doing BBA, something like that, or BCom, again, you have to identify what are the additional skill set I should add. If I want to become an accountant or accounting job, then you need to learn some additional programs like Tally, Wings, Focus. I don't know whether they are still are there or not. Whatever the programs or softwares, whatever the courses you have to do, you have to plan parallelly. If you want to become a business administration, you want to manage a business, maybe you want to do MBA in the future. Now, again, you have to learn additional skill set which are required to manage the business. Like, it can be some kind of digital marketing courses or web designing courses or some graphic designing. Because people think these are different tracks. Because when you're managing the business, you need to know how to promote the business, how to market it as well. That's what kind of MBA marketing, or people select different streams in that. So you need to figure out those things, those additional skill set which are available online. You can do online courses. You have plenty of courses on the udemy.com as well for 400, 500. You have plenty of online courses available, or even you can visit centers nearby if you are used to learning as well. That is also option. So we don't do all these things. That is where the problem. So make sure that you do these things. So at the age of 18 to 20, you have to become employable. And further, you need to gain a professional skill set. We have to build the skill set and get into an entry position. And in this age only, you can try different things. This is the place where you can try many things. It's not like, let's say, I tried to, uh, let's say I'm a programmer. I want to become a programmer. I tried Java. 6 months I spent complete time per day, 10 to 12 hours learning on this and then verified. It didn't work out. Then you have an option to change. You can move on. If you think programming is not your cup of tea, then you need to move on to another track. दूसरा track पकड़ना है. So simply you have to select another track. Just get into any other domains. Maybe database, maybe networking, maybe network security, maybe cyber security, maybe cloud. There are plenty of options. So for computer science or even for other things. So for every stream, there will be an option. And it does not mean again that, I've done my BCom computers, so I should make a career only on the accounts. That is also not correct. That is not the only option you have. You can still switch to a computers and learn some computer networking or computer any other things like any other domains, and you can switch your career as well. Graduation is just a graduation, because many people think, I'm done the BTech. Can I do this uh, network courses? Can I do programming? Programming might not be a cup of tea for you, because mostly the people who choose the BCom, they are not, they fear to select the science, max science. They are not good at. Then only they choose this track, right? What I see many people. So you need to analyze all these things. So the problem is we don't analyze. The problem is we don't analyze all these things. Okay. Okay. So let's come back to this one. Now, once you are at the age of 25, now 25 is the age where you expect you to settle in a good job. You have 2 to 5 years of experience. There's something at least, but you have a stable job. You should have a stable job by this time. Okay. So you should have a stable job again. That's the next thing, right? And of course, you will be added with some responsibilities like family responsibilities, getting into marriage, and all these family responsibilities. So you should have a stable income compulsory. So majority of the people, what I have seen, they are almost back 5 years. So at the age of 25, they do all these things. That's where they struggle, because at this age, you still need to spend on learning. I'm not saying you still need to gain some experience. You still need to acquire some skills. More skills means additional skills to achieve something bigger. Okay. So once you have an experience, you need to add some additional skill set to gain some more experience and more skill set. That's what you should be in that position. Okay. Now this is common track. Okay. I cannot specifically say which track. This is common for all. And once you are at this level, once you are at a good job, once you are now you need to focus on advancement. Advancement means focusing on promotions, focusing on increasing the hike salaries. What skill set you have to add more to get some more hike, or doing some professional courses, like maybe planning a post graduation or any other additional courses you want to do. All these things you have to plan, and you have to achieve some next level, maybe become a manager, those kind of things. Now this is like now the next thing is 30 to 35. That's the next phase. At the age of 30, most likely you will be in a position to have at least 10 years of experience. So at this level, you almost have a 10 plus years, 8 to 10 years at least. Minimum 5, of course, but minimum 5, at least you must have 8 to 10 years of experience. Once you have, now you are almost expert in your domain. You know in and out each and everything. So if possible, you should be in a position to launch your own startup. Now, many people fear the startups. Start up your own institute or start up your own company, start up your own IT solutions, start up your own brand, or set up as a part-time and start up your own, right? Doing a regular job and also doing some part-time projects or part-time, these kind of things. So because these are the big things, what you can achieve in the future. Okay. So many people don't think like this, they just want to settle in a good job. Okay. We are into good job. That's something what is enough for us. And once we have a good job, now everything is running fine, unless you are unless you are fired from the company, unless you work for hike. Then again, after 10 years, people will come to again, they'll say, I need a job, I need a, but again, the problem is they don't match up with the skills what is required. So, so again, the continuous learning is very important. There is always, you need to make sure that you always do the continuous learning. Learning is very important. You have to make sure that you keep on learning during this phase. This is very important thing. And after that, again, once you are in the next 5 years, probably you will be spending around 5 years on setting up your own business or own solutions or own anything on your own, which will be a good option because you will be in a position to employ and get 3 to 4 people at least working for you. Okay. And maybe if you work for 5 years around this time, probably at the age of 35 or around that, if you leave, you will be in, you will have a more stability and a stable income, and you have achieve many things in your career. Okay. Financially as well. Now you should be in a position to run autopilot mode. Now, autopilot mode is a mode where even though if you are not working for it on a full time, even though you are not working for a full time, maybe roughly you're working for 2 to 4 hours or maybe 6 hours, you still have a people working for you. You still have an investment you made, which is multiplied, or it can be a business setup, what you have, whatever. So this is very important. So because when you have these things at this age, maybe 35 to 40, when you are into the autopilot mode, then you can focus on other things like social activities or focusing on the kids and their education and the career and all those things. That's something you need to have at this point. Okay. So this is the complete roadmap, what I just explained. At the age of 18 to 20, it should be employable. That is only possible when you plan your skills along with the graduation. Then probably at the 25, settle in a good job with a good experience, start up your own, and probably operate in autopilot mode and focus on some social activities. So now the next thing, let me just quickly give an idea. Right decisions in the right time is very important because most of the things what you achieve today or tomorrow, that only depends upon the choices what you make. Okay, so that's going to determine the future, and that's going to influence your personal and the professional life. So it's very important that you make a right decision and the right time. And every time you will have a choices, means every time you are in a position to decide, you will have multiple paths. Like maybe after 10th, you have options to choose. Maybe after graduation, you have different options to choose. So you have to analyze all these things on your own and make a right decision. That is one very important thing. And there are many examples you can say. Making a right decision will impact what you exactly do. Like there are many of my own examples, many people, one of my friend who attended JNTU, probably one of the top college in Hyderabad. So he selected a wrong media. He just selected some printing media kind of domain. That's a kind of a wrong decision he took in selecting the graduation. Or someone did the MBA, and currently what he's doing some business or something like that. Okay. And for right decisions, there are many things. You need to analyze your own things. I'll come to that point because in order to make the right decisions, main thing, you have to access yourself. Accessing yourself, like your skills, what skills you have, and what is your strength, what is your interest as well, what kind of job role or what kind of skill set you need to add. So self-assessment is very important. And once you access yourself, because the knowledge level, let's say I want to become a programmer again, and you're just an average student who hardly passed the exams, that's not going to suit you, right? That's not going to suit you. You cannot become a programmer in that case. So it totally depends on you whether you are an average student, whether you are a topper, whether you are good at what. And based on that, once you access, you have to make a list of options what you have. So you need to make a list of options because simply this and that you cannot choose with A or B. You have to build a list of potential options you can explore based on your skills, based on your interest, like maybe a software developer or maybe a consultant, maybe a cybersecurity analyst or data analyst. What are the different options you have? You have to explore that. Now, once you explore the options, you have to do some research on it. It's not like just selecting the option. Like someone said, he wants to do digital marketing. Now, the first question is why you have to do some research. What are the skill set you need to learn? How much time frame it is going to take? And how much time you have to spend on that? And different options, you have to make a research on it. And what are the future prospects on it? What are the different qualifications required for that? All those things. Okay, so you have to make a list of them. And finally, once you list, now you need some mentor as well. Of course, you need a mentor or a teacher to guide. That's another thing. Because one of the problem is we do have a mentors as well. Like let's say you want to become an expert. Let's say you want to become a digital marketing expert, like someone said. But now you need to first consult and digital marketing expert, whoever is available. Either you need to find some contacts. Of course, you can find plenty of contacts on the LinkedIn. You can find plenty of people. You need to build that social network where you can connect. The problem is we have a Facebook and we use it for a different reason. Okay, so you need to find, of course, there's a LinkedIn as well. How many of you have a LinkedIn account where you can connect with the professionals from the same field, and you can text them or send a friend request and connect. You can connect with them and you can send a request. Anyone will reply. Out of 10, anyone will reply. Anyone can be a mentor for you. So the problem is you need to find. So everyone expects someone comes up and because I'm not master of all, right? So I'm master of my own things. And if something relating to that, I can give you some idea. And if you ask me anything relating to medical or those other fields, I'm not good into it. Okay, for the namesake, I can give some suggestion, but that's not going to work out. Okay, so find the proper right mentor and the right teacher. That is very important. And create a short list. You have to make a list of finalize these things, and maybe you can give a try for 6 months and try to other one. So 6 months you can try and you are not fail actually. You have to try another for next 5 6 months, another for 5 6 months. You have almost 2 years or 3 years of graduation. You can try multiple skill set. Finally, you come to a conclusion which one is exactly suits you. You can go deeper into it. Okay. So let's say if you're learning some web designing, it doesn't mean that that's not going to help you. In the future, when you start your business, you might work on your own website. If you learn some digital marketing, maybe that didn't work out, you move to some other domain, or you start something. Maybe this will help you in the future as well. You learn some graphic designing, that will also help you in the future. So every skill set will help you, but you need to keep on trying different options until you figure out the best one which is working for you and also which has a scope. Many people jump here and there, of course, but they don't expertise. The problem is you don't try on becoming an expert. You learn one course and you don't become an expert, you jump into other courses. Okay, so you have to make your choices based on the goals. Okay, so make your choice based on the goals. So identify your goals, make your career choice, and also you need to have a proper action plan. So proper action plan is also important. So if you want to choose something, you need to have a complete action plan as well. Okay. So it's very important that right decisions are important, as I said, and you need to also pray for that. Okay. So you need to always pray to Allah, basically for success and guidance. And in order to make some decisions, you can do some istikara as well, continuous dua, and the parents also should pray for their kids. So this is something most of the time it is missing from our life. Okay, because we simply follow. And one more thing is missing is the learning, the continuous learning. There's no learning part. We just prepare when we have exams. We just sit and prepare when we have exams, and then we just do some rote learning, by heart the questions and write down the answers and finish off the exam. And then we never learn the things. So the main thing is you need to enhance the skills. Skills is very important. So skills are totally different from what you learn in the academics, because the skills and the academics both are different things. Normally, you're expected to get the skills in the academics like colleges, but that's not the case, which means you have to look out for alternatives for finding the skills, because skills will increase the employability option. The more skills you have, you need to go with that. And of course, you have to also find what are the uh, different technologies available. You need to keep on that as well. So the more skills you have, the more you will feel confident, and the more you will be in a position to shift. You can shift your career anytime, because at the age of 20 to 25, you can shift your career and spend some time. That's fine, that you can still do it, because and also you need to make a monthly investments as well in learning, like enrolling some online courses or investing on computer and internet. Computer internet is very common thing, or the minimum thing you require in today's world. Okay. Okay, fine. So I think that's it for this session.